Hi Scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different than my normal. I'm going to do a photo album flip through. So I just finished this album last weekend and I thought I would jump on here and show it to you guys. First, let's start off about the album. You probably noticed this is not a Creative Memories album, and in the past I posted a video about why I use Creative Memory albums, and in the past, I did try out some post-bound albums, and this was one of them. So I still have a few of those albums in the works. I've said this many times, I don't scrapbook chronologically. I don't start one album and go from page 1 to the very end. I kind of jump around. So this particular album has been in the works for a couple years, but I am very happy to get it done. And I do actually have this same album for my other two kids. So I like it. It's a very cute album. It's from Hobby Lobby. This is the second edition in her school album. She has the first one, which happens to be, it was a Creative Memories album. It goes from preschool to third grade. And then as you'll see, this one is the rest of elementary school. So it goes from 4th to 6th grade. Now let me show you a couple things about the postbound album, which I discussed in my video, and I will link that video at the end here so you can go back and see it. But see, what I don't like is how it gets this big chunky, I think I heard somebody mention once that they call that alligator mouth because it just pops right open. And I have read that I could put maybe some spacers between, and I haven't done that. So we'll see. If it drives me crazy, I'll go back and do it. And another thing that does drive me crazy, you saw I just pushed it in, is that this spine comes out very often. It's like, I'm gonna glue it in there, but I was waiting until I was completely done, but it's just gonna keep popping out. And one day it popped out while I was working on it and I actually creased it. So I'm not thrilled about that. But anyway, so let me go ahead and open this up. Try and get rid of as much of that glare as possible. Let's go this way so you'll see both pages. Okay, so like I said, it's from 4th grade to 6th grade. And I did have to cover up a lot of faces. And I'm not comfortable showing all the children's faces, especially because I do not have permission for that. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of go a little bit quickly here. You'll see my half and half design. I love that. I've been doing that for a while. And then here's her class photo. So this album is going to be more than just her school photos, her class photos, and the first day of school. It's going to have all the activities that she did in between as well. Here's how I handle the class photo. So I do like to put the class photo in this album, and it takes up a majority of the page. So I have a very simple page layout, a top and bottom border, layers of paper behind, a border off to the side, and then just some big embellishments. And that's how I like to conquer that. Okay, so then we have first day of school. This is just a simple file I cut out with my Cricut. A grid style foundation. It's great when you have a lot of those photos that you want to get a lot on and that you can crop them down. Over here I have a block design. She went to a school that was very active as far as field trips and parent involvement, and we had lots of opportunity to take pictures. That's why this is the second edition in her school album. So each of my kids have their beginning from preschool to 2nd or 3rd grade, and then they'll each have this second edition, but she's the first one that has this second edition. Simple border, look at that. I used one of my vintage borders that we're always talking about, you know, those oldies but goodies. I found a use for that. Very happy about that. I tried to keep these pages simple, but yet give me practice layering and embellishing. In fact, this was a really good album if I wanted to do a page to practice. I would use a page from here. So you'll see I did lots of layering, embellishment clusters. The star I printed out on my Cricut. Very simple. The rings I cut out with the custom cutting system. So just using all of our tools. This I used the old rulers from Creative Memories, so that was fun. Again, more layers. Getting those school supplies in there. Another Cricut cutout. And here's how I tackled another class photo. I like to do this with this torn edge, but up here I just used a lot of cut apart cards, and they were either already in tags, but more than likely I punched them with a metal die and just used the cut apart card and punched it out with the metal die. Okay, so here we are into 5th grade already. So you'll see just the first few pages were 4th grade, and now we're into 5th grade. Trying a new design here with circles all around. I really like that, but I like it especially in a school album. It has very juvenile characteristics on it, so I love that. And over here I used a 2/3, 1/3 concept where I had 2/3 of the paper here and a third down here, and just put this very colorful, playful shelf of embellishments and stickers right there. I love that. I love doing that. Tuck the photos in behind. Most of the events I used about 3 photos. Here's where I did my typical, if you watch my videos, where I have a more decorative left-hand page, and I focused a lot on using different layers and some cute embellishment clusters. And then on this page, which I can't show you, there's a lot of faces that I need to cover up. I just did basically 4x6 photos, trimmed them down ever so slightly, and got them all to fit basically in a very simple grid or on the right hand page. So very decorative here, photo dump over there. So here's where I only had 1 photo, but I wanted to tell that story, so I focused heavily on the background of this layout instead. Purple. I was just saying that I don't use purple as often as I should, but I do love purple, and I buy purple paper and I just don't use it. So here we go, purple. But what I wanted to point out here is, now we talked about this recently, the old rickrack or the zigzags that Creative Memories used to put out. Here's what I did with a lot of them. I cut them out, and you'll see I kind of used it as a base to my embellishment cluster. So I cut out part of it. I didn't extend it all the way, and then I just layered up on top of it. So that's actually a really great use for those kind of strips that we have a lot of. And then you'll see I carried a little piece down here as well, just a little piece, again, kind of as the base to my cluster. Okay, another block style over here. Now some of these I was taking a class with learning to mix and match pattern paper. And now we're going to enter into 6th grade, and you'll see probably half this book is dedicated to 6th grade. 6th grade was a very busy year at her elementary school. They had the option of going into middle school or staying in elementary school, and we decided to keep them in elementary school because of the curriculum at this school. So again, here I used a Cricut file. I cut these circles on my Cricut. And then I just wanted to point out one thing with this. Because I don't scrapbook in order, you'll see here I did a pretty big title, 6th grade, used big letters, used up some of those alphas, which I love. And then over here I did another big title, probably because I didn't scrapbook these together. And I probably normally wouldn't have done that, like announced that 6th grade was starting. But it's okay. I don't mind. I have plenty of alphabets to use up, so why not? And then here is another use of how I put a class photo in. Again, it's just a big block, again, torn paper, and I just dress it up around it. So usually the top and the bottom. Great time to incorporate all those punches that we use in our everyday albums. It's good to bring them over and use them in our school albums as well. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I have to cover this one up. There's a lot of faces. I didn't have enough hearts over here, but a 2-page spread. You'll see in the 6th grade portion, there's a lot more 2-page spreads. I had a lot of photos from that year. I even incorporated some peekaboo pockets so that I can get even more photos on here. So you have to pull out all your fun tools and supplies, right? Okay. See, another 2-page spread. I tend to use the notebook punch a lot because it is a school album. Okay. Now in this one, I wanted to show you that I created my own pocket. So I pulled it out of its page protector for a moment just so I can show you that, you see there's a 4x6 photo here with a lot of children in it, and then my daughter by herself, and then you open it up. On the inside I have more photos and the journaling. So I got quite a bit of photos. So even on the outside it looks like it might just be 1 or 2 photos, but once you open it you see that I got a lot more photos in here. And all I did was I took a piece of white cardstock and then folded it in half and then decorated it with pattern paper. Okay, that was a fun page. This one I just did recently with my favorite Vivid Melodies collection. I love that. I was trying to get the school theme. Now, when I created this, I did this simple grid up here, and then when I was done, I realized I forgot a photo. So when I came back, there was just no way to fit it in. And so I literally just put it on top like that. And I actually really like it. So sometimes we call those happy accidents, right? Because it worked out so well. Okay, so here you'll see I'm just incorporating more and more of those border punches or border making cartridges at the top up there. And this page, I actually do have a process video on how I did this. I did this whole file, this whole page using digital artwork. So I will link that one at the end of this video as well, because that one was really a fun one to do. Okay, again, just using the digital art. Okay, and again, incorporating more of those. Now, even though I did these at the same time, I happened to use the same border making cartridge, so I thought that's pretty fun. Worked out kind of fun. And oh yeah, DARE graduation. They didn't even do DARE after this year, so that was a fun page to do. Just using more layers and layers and embellishments. Makes this a fun, playful album. And again, more circles. Like I was saying, I love to do circles. These were all cut out with the custom cutting system. My Cricut, I cut out the title here for this page. Incorporated some washi tape. Over here, it's kind of that 2/3, 1/3 with a lot of white space so your eye could rest after all these vivid colors. And look down here, I put in some more of that rickrack or zigzags. And then I don't know if you can see that, it has embossed, I ran it through an embossing folder also. So another way to change up how to use those rickracks or zigzags that we have so much of, run them through your embossing folder. It gave it a whole new texture and look. Yeah, I love that. Now this one I just talked about recently when I did the using the 110 scrapbooking ideas in Sketchbook when I was doing the title page. I did this as a sample in this book to try it out before I actually committed to doing it. And then here we're starting to wrap up the album. Again, this is Vivid Melodies. I just thought it was so vibrant and fun for this age. And then here, the last day of school, they had a swim party, so of course I used sun rays for days. Couldn't help that. That was just too perfect. And then I just want to show you what I did here at the end. Is I had a couple page protectors at the end, and I just put in some of her artwork. This one is a 2-page document. I didn't do anything as far as mounting them. I just kind of threw them into a page protector for now. I would like to think I'm going to go back and kind of maybe display these, but I know I probably won't. I want them to be able so she could reach in and grab them and look at them. And then that's it. That's how I ended the album. I put all the artwork for this album. Now in her younger album, I put artwork sporadically through it. But this one I just put everything at the end because a little bit less because of the age. And also we have another box of bigger projects that we have stored, so that won't go in the album. Okay, well there we go. I hope that you enjoyed this flip through of this School Days album. And if you did, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a big thumbs up. You know how I do appreciate when you do that. And when I finish my next album, I'll come back and I'll share that with you as well. So until next time, everybody, take care, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.